Episode 7 begins with Rentaro being dragged through a chemistry lab by his girlfriends when he suddenly zings with a girl, confirming his fifth soulmate. The next day, Rentaro returns to the lab but cannot find the girl he saw yesterday. Instead, he encounters a young girl named Yakuzen Kusuri, a chemistry club member. She is happy seeing him and provides Rentaro with a cup of tea while telling him to wait. She then prepares a human magnetization drug, which will turn the iron in the human body and magnetize it. She forces Rentaro to drink the drug, causing the metal objects nearby to latch onto him. Kusuri then drinks the drug herself, causing her to stick to Rentaro. She claims the effect only lasts 10 minutes, but unfortunately, Kusuri has to pee. She says she routinely wears diapers to avoid interrupting her experiments and simply relieves herself right then and there. After the drug wears off, Rentaro finds himself distracted by the feelings he develops for Kusuri. This is when Kusuri reveals that she spiked the tea she served him with a love potion due to having fallen in love with him. Rentaro then tries to spit out the tea. Kusuri mistook this as Rentaro's rejection of her love and started crying. Rentaro quickly explains that he wants to vomit the love potion so that he can be himself and not be drugged up when he accepts her feelings. Suddenly, his body starts to spasm due to the drug rejection. Kusuri attempts to administer the drug neutralizer, but is forced to do so via mouth-to-mouth due to Rentaro's body spasms. After the drug wears off, Kusuri feels depressed as the love potion effect is gone, but Rentaro still has feelings for her. She confesses to Rentaro again, this time down to her knees. Upon standing up, she transforms into her older self again, the one Rentaro zings with yesterday. She explains that she is a third-year student, and this is how she actually looks. A failed immortality drug made her small, which can only be reversed using the neutralizer drug for an hour, but she prefers her younger self for experiments. Realizing she is his soulmate, Rentaro returns Kusuri's confession while prostrating himself. Rentaro introduces Kusuri to the rest of his girlfriends. After the introductions, Kusuri gives each girl a drug as a present. For Inda, she gives a bust-enlarging drug and a feminification drug, which she reacts negatively to by beating up Rentaro. Hikari gets a sexy drug, which she downs immediately after thinking about seducing Rentaro, but the drug causes her clothes to melt, prompting Rentaro to give his gym clothes to cover up. For Shizuka, Kusuri gives her a drug that gives her rabbit ears, which makes her happy when Rentaro touches them. Lastly, for Nano, Kusuri made a hair manipulation drug. Nano likes the drug because it allows her to kiss Rentaro more easily, but it comes with a slight risk of baldness, prompting Nano to reject the remaining doses when Rentaro says he loves her hair. Afterward, Kusuri provides the group with cookies and tea but suddenly needs to go to the bathroom. She considered peeing in her diaper, but Rentaro forced her to go to the bathroom. She tells everyone that the tea is different for Rentaro and the rest before leaving. Everyone assumes the big bottle is for the girls and the smaller one is for Rentaro. When Kusuri returns, she realizes that the girls are drinking the tea that's meant for Rentaro. She asks the girls to spit out the tea. Kusuri explains that she intended to spike Rentaro with a drug that would make him want to do nothing but kiss her. He exclaims that there was no need to add the drug because he'd still kiss her. Suddenly, Inda grabs Kusuri's collar and throws her into the air. Meanwhile, Rentaro feels an ominous aura coming off of his girlfriends. Kusuri explains that there is a reason why women shouldn't take the drug, stating that female libido seeks kissing. The girlfriends now basically gave in to their instinct to kiss, and with that, they lost their rationality. In a nutshell, they have now become kissing zombies. Kusuri claims they have 1 hour to administer the neutralization drug to all 4 of them, or they'll be stuck in this state forever. Kusuri and Rentaro sprint towards the rooftop exit with the rest of the girlfriends on their tails. Kusuri mentions that she needs to go to the chemistry lab to make enough medicine for all of them, but the girls catch up to them. Kusuri suggests using a skin-burning drug to slow them down, but Rentaro shouts at her not to use it. The vice principal then shows up, and Kusuri splashes the burning drug on the VP. She was shocked when she found that the drug only caused the VP's makeup to melt off her face. Nano then orders the other girls to split up to corner Rentaro with a pincer attack. Knowing this, Rentaro and Kusuri split up, leaving Shizuka to chase him. However, she trips and falls, causing Rentaro to panic, and he takes her to the infirmary. After treating her, Shizuka attacks Rentaro and kisses him, but Rentaro manages to get back up and hangs her onto the coat hanger. After leaving the infirmary, Rentaro is quickly spotted by Hikari and Inda, who use a catapult move to knock down Rentaro. The two take turns kissing him, but they quickly start fighting over him, leading him to realize their original personalities are still intact. He takes the opportunity and presses their lips together, creating a distraction for them and allowing him to make his way to the chemistry lab. Unfortunately, Nano is in the chemistry lab, forcing him to run and hide in a nearby locker. As Nano begins searching for him, Rentaro hopes that Kusuri made it into the chemistry lab, but soon realizes that she too is inside the locker with him. Kusuri explains that Nano had followed her into the lab, having realized that she was helping Rentaro. After realizing their situation, Kusuri begins to cry because she always ends up causing trouble for others because she gets so caught up in her drugs and resolves to stop making them. Suddenly, Kusuri remembers that she has a dose of the neutralization drug on her. Rentaro thinks she's planning to use the dose on Nano so they can return to the lab, but Kusuri drinks it herself to revert to her adult body, hoping that Nano won't recognize her. This mix-up causes the drug to be spilled before Kusuri can finish it, meaning the effect won't last a long time. Kusuri then saw a rope in the locker and thought up a plan. She emerges from the locker and initially manages to escape Nano's attention, but she gives herself away by saying her name and gets tied up with the rope she planned to use on Nano. Seeing this, Rentaro sprints out of the locker and runs away from the chemistry lab, with Nano hot at his heels after she notices him. The two end up in a storage room, where Rentaro falls to the floor. Nano mounts him and begins to kiss him. After a while, Kusuri arrives and administers a neutralizer to Nano, and she passes out. The two then leave the storage room and give the drug to the other girlfriends. The four girls wake up with their memories fully intact of their time as zombies. Hikari and Inda claim not to remember anything from their embarrassing exploits. Afterward, Kusuri apologizes for the whole mishap while crying, and Rentaro explains that while she did start the whole thing, she was still able to fix her mistake. Rentaro then tells Kusuri to stop talking about abandoning her drug research, and her passion for the research is part of why he loves her. Hearing this, Kusuri jumps into Rentaro's arms and kisses him, reaffirming her love for him and her drugs. And that's the end of this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.